welcome, Barcelona, and especially you, listener, to Barcelona City FM 107.3. It's 5 o'clock and it's Thursday, and you are listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. I'm going to be here live with you now for 2 hours. I'm going to jam out. We're going to talk a little bullshit, and we're going to have a good time. And I'm going to start this episode with a special shout out to the lady I met on the subway on my way over here, because you are amazing. You are exactly what it is about. She came up to me because I have my drumsticks like I always do, and she started to ask me, "Are you a musician?" And I said, "Yes. Oh my God, I love music myself." And then I wanted to play her song, so I'm going to start today's episode with the song I Stood on the Subway Now, listened and jammed out with this amazing old lady, and she loved the Staunton Lick by Lemon Jelly, so we're going to set off with that song. See you in a couple of minutes.
With storms, like don't.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. You're listening to Shameless Exposure with Alex Lebron. And today we're just jamming out, having a good time in the studio. And that was the Staunton Lick with Lemon Jelly, dedicated to the beautiful, beautiful old lady that spent magical 5 minutes on the way on a subway over here. Thank you so much. Those are the kind of moments we all live for. Because what I usually like to talk about, hit when I meet people, new people in my life, how to determine whether this is going to be a long-time friend or if it's going to be just, an acquaintance that's going to come and go. And it's usually about the energies. Is the energy right? And it's so, so, so important. And the older I get, the more I realize this shit, focus on the energy. Because when you're in the dawn of things, so to say, it's kind of hard to put the finger on it. But if it makes you feel good, I say go for it and see what it's about. Because, energy. Again, energy. I can't say it too many times. So today I'm just gonna, go with the flow. We're gonna talk about some real stuff I wanted to get into. And I wanted to start with something called Afrophobia. Maybe you are super well read about what this is, but I assure you, I had heard the expression before, but I wasn't really, well read upon what it actually mattered or what it actually is. And what it is, to make a long story short, is actually people who are afraid or something, we can call it afraid, of black people. People like me, the dark side, so to say. And, growing up in Sweden, which is, if not the whitest country on earth, is pretty much up there in the top 3 with like Switzerland or, I don't know, French Canada or some bullshit like that. Never been there, might be an amazing place, so calm the fuck down. I'm just talking out of my ass. But this Afrophobia, I saw this documentary earlier today when I was waiting for a big thing. And it kind of caught me by surprise that, you hear from people that, I didn't know that racism still existed in today's society. And as a black person or any other minority, so to say, you kind of want to go, what the fuck? Can you run that by me again? Like, what do you mean you thought it didn't exist? So, from one side, I can see that it's kind of hard to realize if you're not put in the situations daily like some of us are. But I was talking earlier with a friend about the very thing, I think I was 12 or 13 now. And this was after a regular ass school day. I was walking home by myself, minding my own business, probably pumping some music, as you hear in the background. Some funky shit. Up from nowhere comes this old, mid-aged, white asshole. I wish I knew his name, because then I would out him quicker than fucking lightning. But he comes up to me and basically says something in the form of, oh my God, you are so disgusting. I wish you didn't exist, or something like that. And then this motherfucker, he spit at me. So yeah, you heard that right. He chunked a big chunk one and he spit on my shirt. On a 13-year-old boy's shirt. Walking home from school. And, being that age, I was like, I don't know how to respond to this when it happens. I just know that this moment, this situation now, it's breaking me inside. So I did what I always did back then, not knowing what it was, not knowing what it meant to me, not knowing why it hurt so much. I just knew it hurt, because who the fuck wants to be spit at? It's not good in any way. I do not condone spitting. So, but when you do it on a small child, when you are a grown up, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Come on. Are you trying to convey something here? Because you're obviously going the wrong way about it. So yeah, I got spit on as a 13-year-old kid, which left kind of deep marks. So with that, it's kind of a strong, kind of a real intro of today's show, but I want to hit it first. I want to enter with something that matters, that affects me every day of my life, the so-called Afrophobia. And what better to start off with a man, people have been arguing that this guy pretty much saved people's lives during the Watts riots, because during those riots, him and a guy called Peter Green held this free show, and the core purpose was to gather angry black people who otherwise would have been out taking part in the looting, the rioting, so shit would have gone way more wrong if this guy wouldn't have stepped in. And it's of course none other than the Godfather himself, James Brown. And what I want to give this to all my beautiful brothers and sisters out there joining me for some shameless exposure. This is Say It Out Loud. I'm black and I'm fucking proud. See you in a couple of moments.
I said we won't quit moving until we get what we deserve. We've been built and we've been scorned. We've been treated bad, talked about, as sure as you born. Just as sure as it takes 2 eyes to make a pair. Brother, we can't quit until we get our share. Say it loud. Say it loud. One more time. Say it loud. I've worked on jobs with my feet in my hand. All the work I did was for the other man. But now we demand a chance to do things for ourselves. We're tired of beating our head against the wall and working with someone else. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Ow! Someone else. Look at here, one more thing I got to say right here. Now we're people, we like the birds and the bees. We'd rather die on our feet than keep living on our knees. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it loud. Lord, Lord, Lord. Say it loud. All right now, Lord, you know we can do the grooving. Now we can say we do the funky part. Now we do.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM. You're listening to Shameless Exposure on 107.3 with me, Alex Lebron, behind the nods. And that was Say It Out Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud with James Brown. And I also want to say here, before we get deeper into it, for those of you who have noticed, I'm live on Instagram and Facebook and over the website. So I want to continue this thing with a little bit of shout out to my man Martin Hombre Hormiga, who actually joined us on Facebook Live, where he wrote that the old man probably had a heart attack later and that karma is a bitch. And I couldn't agree with you more, Martin. So let's give this old man a little bit of tune. If you are alive out there, I want you to play that funky music, white boy.
Till you die? Yeah. I try to understand this. I thought that they were out of their minds. How could I be so foolish? How could I? To not see I was the one behind. So still I kept on fighting. Well, losing every step of the way. I said I must go back there. I got to go back and check to see if things still the same. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, white boy. yeah. I thought I'd have to leave it behind. Oh, but now it's so much better. It's so much better. I'm funkin' out in every way. But I'll never lose that feeling. No, I won't. Of how I learned my lesson that day. When they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and started play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, white. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die. Till you die. Oh, till you die. Yeah. That's how they play that funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music. You got to keep on playing funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music. Wanna take a higher. Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right? Yeah. Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right? Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right?
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. That was Wild Cherry with Play That Funky Music, White Boy. Or we might call it White Man or Old Bitter Motherfucking White Man or whatever you want to say, because something is wrong. Something is wrong, man. You should just feel the love. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Slinging that anti-intellectualism. It's not cool. Not cool. So let's get deeper into this, because we are having a groove here. I'm going to thank everybody. So I want to give a big shout out to a very special person, a very special friend of mine that goes by the name Therese, and you're living in Stockholm. And I want to say, good luck with all the traveling, because she was meant to travel to that, where was it now? With that big volcano eruption just went down. So they had to postpone it. So if I'm not mistaken right now, what came to play was a little weekend to Hong Kong. So I got a little request here. They gave me a request with Frank Sinatra and Fly Me to the Moon, and what a beautiful request there is. So here we go. I'm gonna see you in a couple of minutes. Until then, I leave you with some Frank Sinatra and Fly Me to the Moon.
Let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. Oh boy, you are listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. And that was Fly Me to the Moon with none other than Frank Sinatra. What a beautiful, beautiful song. And it was dedicated to Therese Lindström sitting in Stockholm listening in right now. Thank you so much. And I also see now you wrote hey on my Facebook live feed. And that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you interact over the radio. You might have a song played just for you, or that special somebody you just want to say hi to. So what I think you should do is that if you haven't already, join me live over the www.barcelonacityfm.com, where you can watch me live in the studio. I'm actually looking you in the eyes now saying, hey, come join me, because this is some good fucking time. And if you haven't already, you can also join live over Facebook on my personal one. So let's get this thing going. What more? Yeah, I've been talking about that amazing old lady, whom I met on the subway over here, who just made me feel so happy with her positive energy. And then I spoke a little bit about that old mid-aged man that actually spat on me when I was 13 years old, just walking home from school, which kind of scarred me pretty deeply. But hey, life goes on, right? So what more? I want to give you a little bit of specialty here, because a couple of weeks ago, maybe 1.5 months, I got joined in the studio by my amazing friend and music label executive and hip-hop aficionado and buff, Mr. James Bacon, whom, if I'm lucky enough, is going to join me for the final episode, for the final moments of this episode, because I have a little specialty planned for you guys. So don't go anywhere, because you do not want to miss that one. But you have to, suck on that one for a while, because I can't give away all the Christmas gifts at once, because then you're just gonna tune into some other cook with some boring ass guy. So no, you're gonna stay here with me and hang out. So what I want to give you now, it's Free Mu Mia, and I want to dedicate that one to my amazing friend, Mr. Jeff Bacon, because I remember when he was a guest in my show a good 6 weeks ago or something, we sat here, and one of the moments we both thought of was when we were lip syncing or jamming out, if you will, to KRS-One, MCs Act Like They Don't Know. And now I want to school you some more, so this is Free Mu Mia with KRS-One.
So don't you even go there. See Dolores Tucker, you wanna quote the scripture? Every time you hear nigga, well listen up, sister. I met up with this girl named Dolores, a prankster. I said I MC, she said you're a gangster, but she was caught up. She hit the floor like a break dance, wrapped her up like the arms in the B-boy dance. Get up, honey, cause out here you get stormed. She said, where you from? I said I was born up in the South Bronx, but now I reside across America. She said, you the one who be causing all that mass hysteria. Wisdom shall come out of the mouths of babes and suckling, but you blinded by cultural ignorance and steady judging. But judge not, least ye may be judged. For the judgment ye judge, ye shall surely be judged. You get no love. She said I like it, that's why I jock it. Then I said you only on my dick because I fill brothers' pockets. Cut the bullshit, take me to your past. She said I would give you the ass because I like the way your pants sag. Spread her legs with the off the head, she threw the kitty. Then I spread jism like graffiti on her titties. Freestyled all night, no doubt. That bitch couldn't get enough, cause she was strung the fuck out. Warner, Electra, Atlantic equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? Warner, Electra, Atlantic equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? My recital, I kicks the vital like the final call as I watch Babylon fall. I had to rush them ball, hit that pig with that axe. Tuffy dips to the sidewalk and cannons that cat. Because he censored the usage of the metaphor. You can get the tip of my dick gore, because it's you that brings the real hardcore. Expenditures be getting cut from the poor. Why sure, back before we were born they sold us out. Here Jay Jackson, we know what you about. Back when you was running for the presidency and competing, all rap was dope, you loved every beating, but you took the beating. You was using us then like you using us now. And the National Urban League, I don't know how. You figure, to stop the violence movement gave you 600,000, nigga. Now you quicker to diss our gift with Miss Tucker. You better find another, you sell out motherfuckers. Hate to be so rough, it could be the White Owls. House niggas are full of shit like my Colin Powell. Kicking vowels is how we relieve the tension. But should we start to bounce white people like suspension? You paint the picture, it's the black man on the corner, but tell me,
Who blew up Oklahoma? The city, ain't no pity for the beats. It's Hakeem, that voice from the east.
Warner, Electra, Atlanta equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? Warner, Electra, Atlanta equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? It sound like gunshots, but it could be the cluck of a chicken. Definition is what you're missing, and listen to your children instead of dissing them. Senator Dole doesn't understand the younger, like they be saying want to, but we be saying wanna. They get it dumber every summer as they walk the road, mainly because they cannot understand the code.
In actuality, this Newman-based mentality always seems to represent minus 360% or degrees full circle, dead from the purple rays of the sun. I got melanin, so check it. Bag your nuts quicker, get sick from being naked. Suspect it. Was it the means for the ends for just a few to drive a Benz while you eat the big skins? Turn you into mannequins. Is the trick of technology a revelation? Revelation, sensation gives me inspiration of revolution. That's my solution. There will be no sequels. I'm out 144,000 with my people. From Caligula to Hitler and now it's Schwarzenegger. A lust for the violence is the science of their behavior who enslaves you. But the God of virtuosity, another world created, could it be mental side of me? Got my mind twisted like the veins of Ponce. I sit in disbelief as he crawls underneath. The rock cock back the Glock cause I don't trust the devil. I rebel until Babylon is dust.
Warner, Electra, Atlanta equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia? Warner, Electra, Atlanta equals Rhea. Instead of fighting them, why don't you go free Mumia?
Zero Park is Barcelona's leading medical centre for English-speaking doctors. Care, advice and treatment for all the family in your language. Our range of experts are responsive, compassionate and caring. To book your appointment online right now, go to tiroparkmedical.com. That's tiroparkmedical.com.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM. You're listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron, on 107.3. That was Free Mumia with KRS-One, especially for you, Jeff Bacon, my friend. I hope you sat there and jammed with me exactly like we did on the episode. And maybe if you come later, I have a little other goodie for you. So today there was no promo, as most of you maybe saw. And it's a little reason that I just wanted to sit here and hang out with you guys and actually put myself in the deep end of the pool. Because what I've been talking about repeatedly on my episodes before this one is actually the very fact that I've started to write hip-hop or rap music or whatever floats your boat, you know. Because not when you are a black one. In my life, a question I've been getting so many times, you know, from music people and, you know, normal non-music people, so to say, is, do you write hip-hop? Do you rap? And my answer has always been, nope, I do not. So this song was actually, you know, I started just because I wanted to be able to answer yes on that question. Might sound a little, you know, weird, but it feels kind of nice now when people ask me, so Alex, do you rap? I'm like, no, but I try to. So this is gonna be a little world premiere for you here, people. I'm actually gonna do one of my songs live on the air, and if you are with me live over Facebook or the website or whatever, join me in the comments. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like, Alex, you should really drop that rapping shit, or if you actually, Alex, that was not half bad, actually, you know, because this is interesting because I'm trying to write music. And it's hard, you know, to write out of your own soul and spirit, to be honest with it. Because when you're honest, it tends to hurt. It tends to bring a lot of pain, brings you into, you know, situations and positions that you don't want to be, that you may be closed off in your mind, that you really don't want to tackle. And when writing about it, it brings everything up to the surface, and it's a very therapeutical experience. So for all my, you know, fellow musicians out there, and even if you're not a musician, just sit down and write about your feelings, and you should see it makes wonders for you. It could help you put word into it. It could help you understand where you want to go, where you came from, or whatever. So what I wanted to do here, I wanted to start off here slowly with my very, very, very first rap song I wrote in my entire life. I'm shaking a little bit in my voice now because, like I said, this is a world premiere. And this is written purely from my soul. The song name is called Chaos Galore. And, keep it in mind where you heard it first, here on Barcelona City FM, Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. So, without further ado, I'm just going to see here so I don't mess this up because I'm going to do this live, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, stay with me. I hope you're going to groove. And let's see. Let's do this. Sitting there waiting on a chair right now. What's gonna come? Here we go. I watch my mental issues catching all my battles underneath. Travel down the wider roads while staring straight in disbelief. What would ever be of me in this world agreed? You see, despite my mental glitches, no stitches would never tell my story. Measures with transparency, beat by beat I march on for the glory, holding holes with no trace of glory. You see, only one hand hopelessly. My fate, y'all. It will forever be a mystery. How we go from zero to a prophecy, relinquishing the right the wrongs, and the strength to write the songs for a system existing only enough to keep the weak from getting back to strong. When armed as can be without abilities to see that the fighting powers up above don't give a fuck what's you and me. Secret in the answer is courage to make the stance. Say fuck 'em, go to hell, and then tell 'em to dance. Cause why is it when you look at me or people just like me, you seem to sink your teeth in what could be? What about the what is, miss? Missing this and people that much. Nice to notice that you're subtle as my slip friction clutch. Now we're gearing up to make a stand in a war, to take a stand. Meanwhile, no one really knows what's for. Cause it's just chaos galore, y'all. Now it's the season people peddle complaints about the shit. Remember it when shit don't fit, cause there's no need arguing it. That don't change the fact that in the end we try to take it back, protect the stack, stay off the smack, and try to shake them off cause they lack sensibility to reason in their own right, to realize and being right. You're sitting on a life hack that's on crack. It don't matter if you live like the blind. No need for bullshit cause your eyes are sharp, but working just fine. Trying 2 steps ahead of the hangman, y'all. With poetry to connect and affect. Rapidly testing and upgrading my white surroundings awarenesses to neglect the fact that they don't know when to take the step back. The defect itself happens to be called neglect, an art you happen to perfect. So despite that you might think is your right cause you're white to tell me yes or no, keep your dirty fucking hands out of my black afro. And so the next time you ask a black person if you can touch their hair, at least let them answer before your shit is up there, okay? So don't you go be obscene, throwing awkward looks at me. You should have seen it reign supreme. Going up against me, I dance, I sing. You got them pale in comparison. I didn't know I could scare you, but just the way I look, it's the pretentiousness of your shit that made me write this hook, y'all. So here we go, sing it with me and believe it. To believe what the powers try to seed is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you to reap. To believe what the powers try to feed is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you and me. To believe what the powers try to lead is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you to be. To believe what the powers try to seed is to lose it, it just resonate just straight out your soul or your beat. To believe what the powers try to seed is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you to reap. To believe what the powers try to feed is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you and me. To believe what the powers try to lead is too complicated for you when it comes to time for you to be. And to believe what the powers try to lead is to lose it, it just resonate just straight out your soul or your beat, y'all. So there we have it. I hope you like it. My very, very, very first rap song, Chaos Galore. So enter into Facebook Live right now, and if you haven't already, let me know what you think about this song. Strictly from my heart, nothing else, and that's where it has to come from. So welcome back. That was Alex Lebron Torrent with the world premiere of Chaos Galore live in the radio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alex. So what was the inspiration of this song? Well, thank you for the question, Alex. I might say that this inspiration was, like I said earlier in this, promo, that I wanted to be able to answer yes on the question, do you rap? And so, yeah, that is where it came from. And also, because I'm writing out the music and it's hard to stay true to yourself, you get stuck in that I want to write a good lyric that sounds good and sits well in the mouth and blah-de, 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 blah-de. That's why all of you, when you're listening to the radio, that you start to sing along to the lyric. It's partially because you like it, and it's partially because somebody sat there for hours and hours and hours and changed that line, so when you word that line in your mouth, you don't have to think about it because it just fits in your mouth. Think about it, people. It's not a coincidence. It's hours and hours and hours. So yeah, inspiration, I wanted to try to stay true to it, and what it touches about, chaos galore, that... Yeah, that you hear a lot of complaints from different communities, as I explained earlier, with the people sometimes asking you, kind of with a shock in their face, "Oh, I thought racism was kind of gone," and I'm like, "Huh? What the fuck are you talking about?" It here is alive and kicking, and it just changes its shape, And going back to the thing about energies earlier, I saw this thing. It was about this Charlottesville riot, if you want to call it that. It was not even a riot. It was this peaceful gathering from the left side that some Nazi party got allowed to have like a rally there or something. They had a march or something like that, And of course the left side wanted to intervene and like say, "Hey, you assholes, we don't want to have you here because we do not vibe with what you're vibing with, Everybody should love everybody and you should help out and spread the love." And their ideology is pretty much the fucking opposite of spreading the love. And this guy, this leader of the thing, I can't remember his name, but I think it was during 2 days or 3 days, he got maced like 2 or 3 times. And the energy when you are watching this documentary, it's Charlottesville something on YouTube about the demonstration that went down. And when you watch this, when I watched it, I had this, cramp, this feeling in my stomach that, what the fuck am I watching? And it was this one guy hitting up on this in the documentary that he explained, this is the stuff that my grandfather talked about. The shit that I witnessed today. This is what my grandfather spoke about, that they had to pretty much not dodge cars, but they had to dodge some pretty unpleasant shit to just stay alive in the everyday living. And I can't say, besides from the racism, I can't say that I have dodged cars or I have been through anything, traumatic like that. But I have this mental connection of how it maybe would be like. How it maybe would be, because I've been, like I hit up on a little bit earlier, I've been spat upon, I've been called everything between heaven and hell because of my skin color. And stuff hurts, so I can kind of agree with the thing, not agree, but I can kind of, absorb the feeling that I get from other black people when they're talking about, going through their own traumatic stuff and their own traumatic phases in life, especially from this guy explaining that he heard stuff from his grandfather that he now relived himself with this maniac in a car just literally running down people trying to protest in a safe way. And that's kind of the world. No. Sorry, I'm not going to be that negative. But if you watch the news, I've been talking about this a lot with my friend lately about the perception that the media paints of the world. That if you just watch news, because I watch a lot of news. Since I grew up in a country where I'm not living in, I like to have some form of, attachment to it. And the news is the easy way to get like the run-bys, what is going on. But also, I'm well aware of that when you go that route, you only get fed this negative shit that just drives you crazy. So it's more about the love, And I asked her the question, when did this happen? When did it happen that the news in itself, as you know, the media it is, when did it convert into solely being about the pain and agony and all the bullshit in the world? And then at the final segment, the final 5 minutes, you have some bullshit thing about a cat missing or something. But running up to that, you have 25 minutes of war, people embezzling money, stuff. And then out of those 25 minutes, 15 of those minutes is about Trump and the bullshit, the latest bullshit of all his bullshit. So where is the love things? Why can't we just, where is the network, the news network that solely focuses on the news, relevant news, but good news? News that makes you smile, news that actually news that makes you want to go up the following morning like, hey, I saw that segment last night on the news and this inspired me to be a better person today. When did that last happen? I'll tell you that. Probably never. And that's kind of a shame, actually. I mean, the media holds a big, responsibility to make us feel safe or whatever, at least in my perception. But I don't know. I just might be talking out of my ass here because I'm a little angry. Also, I want to recommend now. If you speak Swedish, by the way, there's this documentary now on the svt.se. It's a Swedish, TV site where you can stream the documentary about this Afrophobia thing that I saw. So please watch that. If you are brown, black, or whatever minority, if you feel that you can relate to the feeling I'm talking about right now, please hit me up on Facebook Live and write a couple of lines and I will give you a shout out and talk with you all you want, because that's all I can do here as a thank you for you to join me, because I love the interaction. And let's see here. I did my rap for you and that felt kind of amazing. I'm a little shaky still because, it was a first. It was a first, so I'm hoping when and if my lovely friend Jeff Bacon is going to join me here a little bit later, I might have some more cookies up my sleeve if you're lucky. But I'm not going to disclose what and how at this particular juncture. But right now, I feel like getting into some music. And I had a little request from a very, very special person of mine. If you haven't, I want you to check out my YouTube channel where me and my friend Petey's, amazing artist and painter, she has her art on Petey's Creations on Instagram and also her personal site Petey's. So check it out. You can see some nice shit there. We have been out and we've been recording this dancing thing, dancing your heart out sessions in the streets of Barcelona, because I spoke a little bit about energy earlier and we wanted to just go out and give people a reason to smile. Give people a reason to be happy, be the extra little spice in someone's day. So we took my portable speaker I have, it's a top of a PA system, and we just walked out the city streets of Barcelona and we just took up a state anywhere we felt like and danced and filmed it. So go on to my YouTube channel, Alex Lebron T, and watch this. And I'm gonna play you a little bit of music from our clips. This is R. Kelly with Backyard Party, and this one is for you, Frida. I hope you're gonna like it. See you in a couple of minutes.
Everyone's happy. Finally, it's the weekend. All the hard work's behind me. Yeah. And I just invited all my friends. I'm about to throw something on the grill. Yeah. And get together and play some cards. Yeah. Full of drinks, something, smoke, and do our thing. Yeah. No one's got hating in their hearts. Whoa, a backyard party. A backyard party. We'll just have a backyard party. Yeah. We're just having a backyard party. Whoa. Oh, I thank God it's summer. God, it's summer. 'Cause it feels feels so good to be outside. Yeah. And the music sounds like heaven. Yeah. Made me wanna grab a towel and clean my ride. Oh, first I'ma throw something on the grill, yeah. And then mingle with the girls. And I wish that they could feel this celebration. I wish all around the world. Hey, hey, it's a backyard party. Oh, a backyard party. We're just having a backyard party. Yeah, we're just having a backyard party. And even if it looks like rain, oh, if it looks like rain, then joy's gonna chase the rain away. Rain, rain, go away. 'Cause we're gonna take some shots. We'll take some shots, yeah. And just hope for a brighter day. Oh, I just hope for a brighter day. I feel like, yeah. I feel like, whoa. I feel like, yeah. I feel like, whoa. Having a backyard party, yeah, a backyard party. We're just having a backyard party. Everyone's in the pool. A backyard party, all fun and no rules. A backyard party. The music is loud and the atmosphere's cool. A backyard party. Everybody says, you know how we do. And barbecue, hey, hey. Party. The sun is shining and the sky's so blue. Backyard party.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. That was R. Kelly with Backyard Party, dedicated to my beautiful and amazing friend Frida. And I wanted to get this going because I'm just getting requests rolling in from left and right. And while this Backyard Party is going on in the background, I'm gonna change the vibe up a little bit, but I'm gonna keep the flow though with some soul. And what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna leave you with some more R. Kelly and Lost in Your Love. See you in a couple of minutes again.
Can I bring the love songs back to the radio? Let's get it. I wanna be blind tonight while I'm loving you. I wanna have to find my way, and I don't wanna have a clue. Just let the universe surprise me when I walk into your room, babe. I got a whole lot of kissing, got a whole lot of touching, got a whole lot of loving waiting on you, baby. Got a whole lot of feeling, got a whole lot of thrilling, got a whole lot of healing. Wanna please you, so let's turn off all the lights, because baby tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Baby tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Girl tonight, baby tonight I wanna get lost in your love. I wanna get, baby tonight I wanna get lost in your love. So come on and push it, baby, 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 push it. I wanna get lost, baby. I wanna get lost, baby. Oh, baby. I wanna get lost, baby. Oh, I wanna get lost, baby. I wanna make love and breath while I'm feeling on you. Yeah, baby. And I don't wanna have a care. You just do what you wanna do to me, babe. I wanna wanna drift far out in your waters, girl, and get trapped in your wilderness. Cause I got a whole lot of kissing, got a whole lot of touching, got a whole lot of loving waiting on you. Yes, baby. And I got a whole lot of thrilling, got a whole lot of feeling, got a whole lot of feeling. Wanna please you. So let's just turn off all the lights, because baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Lost in your love. Baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. I just wanna get baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Baby, come on and push it, baby. 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 Push it. We don't need no explanation, cause this love we'll make is our confirmation. So let it do what it do when it do how it do to you, girl. Let us lose ourselves in the middle of this magic. Oh, now baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. I just wanna get baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. I never wanna be baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Take me to your secret, baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Take me away, baby, tonight I wanna get lost in your love. Baby, tonight
ooh, I wanna get ooh, R. Kelly. Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. You're listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron, still. And as you notice right now, the clock is approaching 6, so I changed it up a little bit. What you have in the background now is Just Do It with Pete Rock, some kick-ass instrumental soul. So if you put a little bit on this side of the fence, the more soul-y side, you should check yourself out, some Pete Rock. And again, the last song was Lost in Your Love by R. Kelly, and what an amazing soul singer, you know. And despite all that sick shit he's into, he's actually one of my biggest inspiration when it comes to just music and his way of writing and his sense of melodies and his voice, and yeah, the list goes on. R. Kelly is fucking amazing. So thank you for the amazing music. And the shout out was super cute. I want to disclose, you know, because I showed this song pretty much everybody that comes into my life, because I love the groove, and you know, it's kind of that same backyard party groove. You just feel good. And then this person wrote me a couple of moments ago to say, I just want you to play this song because it's dedicated to the person I'm dating right now, and it means so much to me. So I played it for you. Hope this person heard it. Hope they know how much it means, because wow, this is the love I'm talking about. That's the energy I wanna spread. I want to help spreading that. So important love. Because if we didn't have that, what would we have, right? Exactly. So, thank you so much again. Time is almost 6 o'clock, which means a little breaky break. But until then, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of updating what's going on around in the world, and then you know what's going to come. I'm not going to disclose that yet, because if you're an avid listener of Shameless Exposure now, this is my 17th episode, then you are well aware of what song that's going to come after the news break. So, until then, I'm going to have a little break, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.
And now it's time for the news, brought to you by Wicklow Tax. Enjoy your overseas adventures whilst we take care of your taxes.
I'm Spencer James. 2 people have been seriously injured and another 33 injured in a train derailment yesterday morning in Andalusia. The incident happened on the Malaga to Seville service near to Arajal. The train had 74 passengers and staff on board at the time of the accident. Emergency services were alerted to the train derailment at just after 12 minutes past 10 local time. It's understood severe flooding washed away the track bed, causing the train to derail. It slid down the track for nearly 200 metres. 2 mobile emergency units were dispatched to the scene along with other emergency services. A 40-year-old woman in La Palma has died after being attacked by one of her dogs. Guardia Civil were called to the scene of the incident in Punta Lana on the Canarian archipelago yesterday afternoon after police locale reported that a woman had been injured by one of her animals. Despite the actions of emergency services, the woman was declared dead at the scene. The dog, believed to be a restricted breed, was destroyed by Guardia Civil. And 3 migrants have died and 1 is missing, presumed dead, after their boat was wrecked in the Strait of Gibraltar. Salvamento Maritimo spotted the stranded vehicle and a man floating in the water 5 miles off the coast of Tarifa. They scrambled a helicopter to rescue the man, who informed them that his passengers had perished. The remains of the other migrants were discovered in an ongoing search by Coast Guards. Apart from 1, the search continues. To sign up to 10 News, let's answer the latest breaking news. Log on to EnglishRadioNews.com. That's the latest from the ERN newsroom. You're up to date. A bright but cool day today with highs of 11, lows of 2 degrees, staying warm and sunny as the day continues in towards tomorrow. Clouding over though, so temperatures start to dip. Single figures from tomorrow, really the order of the day, pretty much for the rest of the weekend, down to -2 on Sunday. For a full 5-day forecast and everything where you are, EnglishRadioNews.com/weather.
Enjoy your overseas adventures whilst we take care of your taxes. For more information, go to wicklowtax.com. That's wicklowtax.com.
I want to break free.
Unrisen Queen in concert. After touring Switzerland, the band recognised worldwide as the resurrection of the voice of Freddie Mercury finishes its 2017 tour with a concert on December the 9th at Razzmatazz in Barcelona.
Show must go on.
Tickets on sale now at Discos Revolver, FNAC and Ticketmaster. Unrisen Queen, December the 9th in Barcelona. Zero Park is Barcelona's leading medical centre for English-speaking doctors. Care, advice and treatment for all the family in your language. Our range of experts are responsive, compassionate and caring. To book your appointment online right now, go to tiroparkmedical.com. That's tiroparkmedical.com.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3 with me, Alex Lebron. You're listening to Shameless Exposure. So it's a little after 6. That was the news and a little bit of update, and now I'm gonna go on a break. So I'm gonna leave you as usually with the 6 o'clock song November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. You're listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. And that was some nice music. That was Guns N' Roses with November Rain. And it can only mean one thing, that the clock just turned 6 o'clock and you are listening to Shameless Exposure again. And yeah, it's time to change up the vibe a little bit, time to go with a little bit of that soul-y, funky background music. Because, as I disclosed earlier, the shout-outs and plugins, they just come in from left and right. And actually, we have one now, and I'm just gonna set this up, because this, I think, is a good one. I'm not really sure. Let's see here. It ain't, And this one comes from Jessica Shelley on Instagram, and it's a shout out to, again, my beautiful friend Frida, aka PD's Creations, aka PD's on Instagram, because she's the coolest little sister on the planet. So this is Sarah Larsson with It Ain't Right, and I'm just gonna Woo! Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3 Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. That was Sara Larsson, Ain't My Fault. From Jessica to Frida. What an amazing big sister you might be, I might add. And damn, Sara Larsson. I didn't know that, I might say, because I've heard her name and that she'd been praised and getting, this and that, but I've never heard her music. And I can say I felt that song. I really, really felt that song. Cause you're not responsible, it ain't my fault. Yeah, you get the idea. I'm not gonna destroy the song because you probably felt it too. And actually, she got some soul, that girl, and she put me in that kind of state. Because those of you who have been listening from the beginning of this show, we're going on 20 minutes past 6 now, and you heard that today is probably a world... No, it's not probably a world premiere. It is a world premiere because, as I disclosed earlier, I've been trying to get into the writing rap songs. And, it's baby steps, right? With everything, you just find what you love to do and you stick with it, and hopefully you get better. So, Sara Larsson put me in the mood here, so I'm just gonna do this song for you guys. And it's actually the second rap song I ever wrote. So, a little bit earlier, I did the first one, Chaos Galore, and this is the second one. It's called Live a Lie. And I'm not gonna tell what it's about because, I like you as a listener, this is me writing from my heart. So, I want you to interpret in your heart, what is Alex rapping about and where does it come from and everything. And also, before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Architect Producer on Instagram, who actually wrote because I did a little thing on Instagram. I said, write what song you want to play, if you want to do a shout out to anybody or something, or just if you want to have a song played. And this gentleman, he wrote anything. Just anything, Alex. So I'm gonna dedicate this song to you, my man, the Architect Producer on Instagram. Thank you so much for your request. And this is world premiere number 2. This is Alex Lebron trying to do his song Live a Lie. I'm just gonna say I see you in a couple minutes, but you get the idea, right? How we came to that, I live a lie, live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that, I live a lie? How we came to that, we live a lie, live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that, we live a lie? I don't remember, allegedly I was 1 year old. Never given a reason, more than for them I was gold. Looking back on the years past, confusing situations last. Just try to fit in, I did what I was told. A little boy just trying to win my own fight. Cause why the hell are this places, faces, whites around and yelling, telling me to understand what's wrong or right. Miscalculating possession of a person's mind. Try instead of passing blame on those around, engaged to have some fun. Conversations with someone who won, maybe you learn something. Realizing nothing's new when living under the sun. I know what's cooking in your oven, mom. Your secret recipe, who else could be the one who understand that in my deep and darkest mode I'm missing mental health. Rumor has it that I fought for myself. The choices I made will never lead to no wealth. Now let me tell you how we came to that, I live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that, you live a lie? How we came to that, we live a lie, live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that, we live a lie? Now let me tell you how we came to that, I live my life. Had it been you, you would have jumped and called it suicide. Had it been you, you would have jumped and called it suicide. Realizing you were meant to be my mentor in the centerpiece that is my life. In your eyes, a failure indeed. Well, now I'm 32. Haven't been asking you so many times for help, i.e. the task that you were meant to do, to be my dad. But that was then and this is now. Presenting patience, waiting for a change with us. I can't see when or how. Sam said it best, but now the changes have to come for some. Cause you should be the one. Inspire me to hire myself. Instead of wishing that I had something else, maybe something less in case I knew what it was. Would not reflect winning or losing like a coin toss, two sides. How we simplify our laws, simple trigger mechanisms in the way we'll make it not work for us. Mentor me mentally, not only economically, communicating something though we lost in translation. Remember as a young boy when I stood before the door thinking, well let me tell you how we came to that, I live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that, I live a lie. How we came to that, that? We live a lie, live a lie. Can you answer how we came to that? We live a lie. How we came to that? I live my life, live my life. Had it been you, you would have jumped and called it suicide. Had it been you, you would have jumped and called it suicide. Ooh, yeah, that was some deep realism for you right there, you know? That was Alex Lebron with Live a Lie. I hope you like it. So if you liked it, Architect Producer on Instagram, this was for you, my man. Hit me up with a couple of lines of what you think about it. So let's see here. Let's get back into it. Ooh, that was a smooth one right there. So yeah, you see, this rap thing. Maybe it's not my thing. Maybe it's my thing. I don't know. The only thing I know is that it makes me fucking happy. And I feel that I express myself naturally. Because, you know, I compare it a lot to the thing, you know, when you're trying to write the songs. And especially, you know, because I'm kind of a singer-songwriter-driven musician. I want to have nice melodies, wide range, and all that stuff. But I'm not really gifted with this lyrical sense, so it tends to be pretentious as fuck when it come out, you know? Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's, you know, worse. But the pretentiousness seems to be like kind of a red line, you know, when you try to stay true to some rules or whatever. Because I actually studied songwriting for 4 semesters in Santa Barbara, California, which I took a lot of amazing tips and, you know, just pointers from professionals such as David Page from Toto. You have David Crosby from Crosby, Stills and Nash. You have Chuck Cannon, which is a very prolific country songwriter. You have what more? Jackson Brown. Excuse me, people. I'm having a frog in my throat here. But Jackson Brown also came to our songwriting class and joined us, and he actually sat not 1.5 meters in front of me while explaining when he wrote Running on Empty, which to this day is one of my favorite songs in this world. Oh my god, what an amazing song. And yeah, you've heard the song if you saw, which you probably did, Forrest Gump. That amazing song when Forrest is starting to run in, I think it's Arizona, the Golden Railway or something, where it's just straight roads and mountains and everything is super majestic. And that scene, there is this song, Running on Empty by Jackson Brown. And it's just one of those songs, you know, perfect for driving a car, preferably you see a convertible car. I'm riding at the same time I'm talking right now, you know, as we males cannot multitask as effective as you women, so please be remorseful with me. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, Jackson Brown in this scene with Forrest Gump when he's starting to run, and I had him not 1.5 meters in front of me explaining the process when he wrote that song, how inadequate he felt with his technique behind the keys, i.e. piano if you're not a musician. And the way he talked about it was just so inspiring that this super regular dude, he was looking kind of raggedy, if with respect of course, because you don't have to dress up if you don't feel like it. Fuck it. On the contrary, if you are safe in that, just rock your shit and be inspiring by following your own groove. So that's what I mean. But he was looking kind of raggedy, he was kind of leaning in the chair, super like latent and everything. It was just talking. Yeah, I mean, I felt this inspiration, you know, I didn't know that many chords on the keys, so I just figured I would go with, now I can't even remember how it goes, but it's kind of simple. And yeah, you get the idea. And when he spoke about it, you know, and that's amazing when you are that close to musical royalty, like for real. I mean, that record, we're talking about like a good 135 million sold copies. That shit doesn't happen anymore. For better and for worse, you know, with the industry being more digitalized and everything like that. So, you know, you usually don't achieve those numbers when it comes to hard CDs, right? So, I mean, to having him that close and just, you know, explain that I didn't really like it, but we wrote it, and we ended up with that, and then it got cut in the Forrest Gump movie. So You hear what's coming in the background. It's Jackson Browne with Running on Empty, one of my favorite songs in the world.
So many summer fields. 65, I was 17 and running up on one. I don't know where I'm running now. I'm just running on, running on empty, running on, running wild, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Gotta do what you can just to keep your love alive. Try not to confuse it with what you do to survive. At 69 I was 21 and I called the road my own. I don't know when that road turned onto the road I'm on. Running on, running on empty, running on, running wild, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Everyone I know, everywhere I go, people need some reason to believe. I don't know about anyone but me. If it takes all night, that'll be alright. If I can get you to smile before I leave. Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels. I don't know how to tell you all just how crazy this life feels. Look around for the friends that I used to turn to pull me through. Looking into their eyes, I see them running too. Running on empty, running wild, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Honey, you really tempt me, you know the way you look so kind. I'd love to stick around, but I'm running behind. Running on, you know I don't even know what I'm hoping to find. Running behind, running into the sun, but I'm running behind.
Wow, wow, wow. Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. That was Jackson Browne with Running on Empty. And it's 6:30. And that means I'm going to take a little break. But I'm going to leave you with this. And I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.
Tiro Park is Barcelona's leading medical centre for English-speaking doctors. Care, advice and treatment for all the family in your language. Our range of experts are responsive, compassionate and caring. To book your appointment online right now, go to tiroparkmedical.com. That's tiroparkmedical.com.
I want to break free.
Unrisen Queen in concert. After touring Switzerland, the band, recognised worldwide as the resurrection of the voice of Freddie Mercury, finishes its 2017 tour with a concert on December the 9th at Razzmatazz in Barcelona.
Show must go on.
Tickets on sale now at Discos Revolver, FNAC and Ticketmaster. Unrisen Queen, December the 9th in Barcelona.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3. You're listening to Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron. And we are approaching the final half hour, and it's been grooving today. I love this, sitting here with you, just talking some bullshit, keeping you company in your, in your early afternoon. I'm sure you have been grooving with me. I'm sure you can relate to a lot of stuff that I'm talking about. And if you can't, even better, because the world is about diversity. We need different people. We need differentism to make up a new world, actually. Remember what you heard that first on Barcelona City FM 107.3. I can't say that enough. So that was Jackson Brown with Running on Empty a little bit earlier. And oh my God, I just wanted to go back a little bit into that, because that was one of those magical moments I've had in my life when sitting there. And before all this began, you probably all of you out there have this perception. You saw the show Glee or something, where they sit in a classroom and they just all of a sudden burst out in a song or something. That was pretty much what went on our songwriting classes. So somebody brought a song and then you performed it in front of the class, and then people could critique it or sometimes even join in if it was the right vibe. And it was such an amazing experience, because having those songwriting giants so close in front of you so you could literally feel their breath, which was not always a pleasant thing, but it was kind of cool. It made them even more mortal, so to say. But when you had those, big legends in front of you, just talking so leisurely about, those crazy songs you have in your life. And speaking of which, I need to tell you a little bit about this, because this one guy I'm speaking in particular about, his name is David Page, and he is none other than the key player from the band Toto. It is the love to find away from you, unless the rain's down in Africa. Yeah. That band, that amazing band, Africa, Toto. So David Page came to one of our songwriting classes, like Jackson Brown did a couple of weeks earlier, where he sat down and, a little bit too much overweight. You feel and you see that this man has lived the good life. He found his poison in the music, and he writes and composes in a way that speaks to the whole world. So he had that life. And this cat was actually the musical director on Bill Clinton's 60th birthday. And I think this had just happened maybe a couple of years before or during the years I was living in California. So he was talking a little bit about that. And he was given a list with artists. And we're not talking about, this and that. We're talking about the who's who in the industry. Was given, a list with that to David Page, where he got told to just pick and choose your own lineup. And on this list, you had names like Bruce Springsteen, Blues Traveler, Katy Perry, Willie Nelson. We're talking about that shit. And this guy just gets handed a list and gets to pick and choose who he wants to have perform on Bill Clinton's birthday. And that is kind of, that's when you fucking made it. That's when you're a shot caller. And to have him 1.5 meters in front of me again, and it was not the biggest classroom. And he was just talking about the process when he started to write. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. He was the one that wrote that part on Thriller by Michael Jackson. So you can understand what type of man we are talking about. And it's actually funny because he hit on that, and all of us in the classroom, our jaws are kind of down to the floor, right? Because we're like, oh my fucking God, he's talking about Thriller. He's talking about, the one of the songs that was nominated for the best song of the millennium or some bullshit like that. That is kind of a big stretch. So he sat there and again, very leisurely, just talking, I was sitting with the keys in the studio and Michael was acting up, and just by having him mentioning Michael Jackson's name as, any guy he'd been working with, and all of us went like, oh my fucking God, is this real? Can I touch your beard or something? Are you for real? And he just started like, I did some scribble and Michael didn't like it. And then I changed it up a bit. And that's pretty much what you hear on the record. And it's funny, for me as a musical nerd, I love it. I live for it. I eat shit and breathe music every day. If I don't play music myself, I'm watching people play music, something like that. And then to have him just, to immortalize it and to make it as such of a small thing for him, and for us it's one of those things, you can't even comprehend what he's talking about. One of the most played or respected songs throughout the music history or something, and you hear what start to cook here in the background. Of course, if I talk about it, we have to give it a spin. So this is to give a little shout out to my man. He probably don't remember he ever met me, but to David Page from Toto, who wrote See you in a couple of minutes.
It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. And you start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is daylight night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's daylight night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight. Ooh. You hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold hand and wonder if you ever see the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination, girl. But all the while you hear a creature creeping up behind. You're out of time, 'cause this is daylight. There ain't no second chance against the thing with the 40 eyes, girl. You're fighting for your All through the night, I'll save you from the terror on the screen. I'll make you see that this is real love night. 'Cause I can feel you more than any gold through that dead try. So let me hold you tight and share up together.
Across the land, the midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.
I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna do it tonight. Oh, darling. I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna do it tonight. Oh, darling. Do it tonight.
The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the thrill of the thriller.
Welcome back to Barcelona City FM 107.3 with me, Alex Lebron, in the studio. You're listening to Shameless Exposure, and that was indeed some Shameless Exposure. I was talking about a little bit when I met David Page, one of the members of the very famous group Toto, from the time when he joined our songwriting class and so leisurely spoke about the time when he composed Thriller with Michael Jackson in the studio. And, you know, hitting back on that, you know, it's such a surreal moment, you know, and hearing a song like that, when you hear it, and then to hear parts of the story, how it came to, it makes the whole song, it gives it so much more depth. And it's just amazing to, not to say that you took part of it, because I absolutely didn't, but it feels like you have that personal attachment to it when you got the story told from you, you know, firsthand from the guy who actually did it. And it's quite amazing, you know, because that thing, if you think about it, it's kind of a scale passage just straight down. But again, I have not yet to this day met a person that when that shit comes on, they stand still. Everybody react the way you should react when you hear that stuff, because that is some groovy ass stuff. They knew what they were doing back then, and I bet they know it right now too. Because I'm not really a Toto head, so to say, but I like their groove. No Simon Phillips behind the drums. Very, very nice drummer. Very into the syncopating of things. You know, when the the accent of the stroke comes between the actual strokes to nerd out super much for you out there. But you know, like I said, I'm a nerd with this, and I stand by it. But he's that kind of drummer, and you know, put in you know the whole package of Toto. It's not really. If you know your Toto well, you know that Toto is not at all similar to Michael Jackson. And that's why it makes it so interesting then that collaboration ended up so amazingly like it did. Because if I remember this correctly, they were kind of struggling with the production process and things weren't going as smooth as they were planning. But we all know what came to be. the Thriller album, which is one of the, most celebrated pop albums out there throughout the history of music or whatever, It's super, super, super good. So, now let's see here. Hugo and my man Jeff Bacon is starting to roll out outside of the studio. If you don't know what you're gonna do from 7 o'clock, where I have to leave you. Oh no! Yes, I know. I have to step aside to leave the airspace to the other two cats in their Business with Bacon music industry program, where they play some nice ass tunes. If you don't really know what you want to play at home when you're vacuum cleaning or doing whatever the fuck you're doing, and you just want to have some nice inspiration from someone who knows his shit, and actually both of them are quite savvy, then you should check out their show, The Business with Bacon, to learn the ins and outs of the music industry, the global music industry, which is kind of messed up, but pros and cons with everything, right? And let's see here. Also, with my show, Shameless Exposure, it's on every week from 5 to 7 every Thursday. So, I don't have to tell you this now because you're an avid listener of this. I want to thank you so much because you've been joining me here now for 2 hours. And I hope you've been joining it as much as I have, because time flies when you have a good time. And this is actually the third time I think I'm airing it by myself. And yeah, I'm super, super happy that things are going smoother. And also, let's see here. I'm talking too much now. This is kind of my MO, when I start to talk and I get lost in myself a bit. It happens from time to time. So I just want to take a little break. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, but I will leave you with some The Touch Funk, It's All I Know. And I'll talk to you in a little minutes, maybe with a surprise. Welcome back. You're listening to Barcelona City FM 107.3. Shameless Exposure with me, Alex Lebron, in the studio. And like I told you a little bit earlier, I might have a little surprise for you. I did a little plug seconds ago about, the Business with Bacon program. And I was so lucky to be joined by the man himself, Jeff Bacon, for the final minutes of my show. And what I wanted to do now, because those of you who have been listening now for a good 2 hours, you heard my 2 first rap songs. So now when I have actually someone rap savvy, I'm gonna perform my 3rd song for him live in the studio, and I'm shaking in my boots now because he's gonna tell me what's working and what's not working with my shit. So don't go anywhere. This is a world premiere, people. And I'm gonna do, let's see here, anti-intellectualism. It's kind of a tongue twister, but it's from my heart, right? So let's see. Do we have you in the speaker right there?
World premiere, world premiere.
Jeff Bacon is in the house.
Now, look, if you're prepared to give a track a tongue-twisting title like that, then you must be an MC.
I was going with the 7-syllable, man. Anti-intellectualism. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see here. Okay, so this is Alex Lebron performing Anti-Intellectualism on Barcelona City FM.
Get it.
Remember where you heard it first, people. Need to get into the groove a little bit, Feel it out.
Come on, let's go.
Because you know your shit, man. You need to tell me what's up.
I got the faith, Alex. I got the faith.
Let's see here.
I'm more nervous than you.
Don't say that, man. Oh, you see where we're going?
There already.
He's driving down 101 South outside of between Santa Barbara and LA with the wind in his hair, that beautiful Southern California soul, and he's listening to Alex Lebron.
Yeah.
Okay, Let's take it away. Can you tell me why you turn out this way? The only thing that I want is to be true to this day. Fuck your track record thinking you're the top of the heap. Look at your history. There's no way to get rid of me. Pay attention to your roll call. You're the pussy how? Now, witness as I pass you my balls. Psych, I ain't gonna pass you shit. You ain't the same. Your hate, love. Loneliness will be your defeat. Time to go beyond the cover. Relentless pages from H's rough written by the black and the brown. How the white man ran around lynching black people wearing nothing but his bullshit invisible crown. Said it's time we go beyond the cover. Use our brain, be the antidote to the rain of hate. Not take no for an answer when I try to say it's too late. Cause it ain't. Rewind the tape, man. Now I was wrong, fast forward. You really need a tape to learn how to spot a fucking coward? Sorry, a spineless pussy is the right term. Now watch me smile as I watch them scrum with my monstrosity. So efficiently planned out. Delirious perfection by a master that stands out. My bang is meant to fuck up your entire image. Every time the whites try to deny white privilege, y'all. Now that shit makes you angry, you hypocrite, doesn't it? Cause it is the hate that keeps you lit now, isn't it? What you need to know is that my time is now. Sit down, shut up. Maybe you learn why another 60 years plus. Still nothing wrong with Rosa P if only you could see. Now it's there, it's in the basket bus, rolling down the street, thinking how to handle the heat. Cause angry black people tend to stand with each other. Nothing has changed, your ancestors stole from my great-great-great-grandmother too. And believe me you, here is also what is true, that every time you come around, this is what you do. You mistake the perfection of mankind as colorblind. What the fuck is wrong with you? Slanging your anti-intellectualism, digging deeper into the abyss of idiotism. How is it working for you? Going well, son? You say potato, potato, I say you're really that fucking dumb. Too many pieces to be missing in your deeper inner mechanism is what I believe to be your reason, sir. Time to understand something, my time is now, haven't you heard? Now that should make you angry, you hypocrite, doesn't it? Cause it is the hate that keeps you lit now, isn't it? Now all you need to know is that my time is now. Step back, sit down, shut up. Maybe you'll learn why another 60 years plus. Still nothing wrong with Rosa P if only you could see. I want you to be proud of me. Resisting my inner scream, be the black knight in between the love and the hate. Religions with strong faith. Empty religions bringing mental portals, programming us to separate. It's our responsibility to rise above that shit. Look for your own reasons to keep it lit. Just do something. Just do something. Just do something, man.
Just do something.
Right? Don't sit on your ass.
Funky call to action.
Go out there. Kiss a stranger on the face. On the lips.
Killed it. Killed it.
Okay, cool. So thank you people for listening. Let's see here what the hip-hop professor had to weigh in on anti-intellectualism by Alex Lebron.
Anti-intellectualism. Well, if you want a critique, I'll give you. You know what? I love the way you attack the mic. You've got the flow. It comes from you being a musician and having that rhythm. I think you've got the flow. You can sit in that pocket, and that sounds great. And isn't it the case that when you're flowing like that, that's the feeling? Yeah, right. That's when it's almost like if you're a singer and you hit that note, or you. Yeah, I mean, it's a feeling. When you're going for that particular rhyme scheme and you've been working, and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah. This is what I want to say, and this is how I want to say it. That's it. And you bust it out 2 or 3 times, and maybe like the second, third time, you're like, oh, I nailed that. And that's what people get amped about as well, as much as the content, And I think what you wrote is fantastic too. You like it? Yeah. It means the world to me, man, because I'm still a little bit, self-conscious about it. Sure. Because this is a new world for me. Yeah. It's a growing process, and I think you've made, from what I've heard so far, you made a lot of progress with your. Because again, you have that musicality that's part of you. I think if you came to record that, I'd recommend you use your voice. You got a couple of voices, like a lot of vocalists do. Someone once said about Al Green, he, every line is like someone else singing, And you've got your kind of higher pitch and your lower pitch, and I love the lower pitch. I think you can play with the higher pitch as well, for contrast. I feel more safe in the higher pitch. Actually, I noticed that. And you know what? That will give you textures and different stuff to play with. There's nothing more boring than hearing an MC the same on every track. Okay, cool. Take Kendrick Lamar. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Another one. All the voices.
Nice. You know me. I'm not that well read upon Kendrick. But I like his more jazzy stuff. I think we spoke a little bit about that the episode you were on.
Did.
So yeah, I'm approaching my end. We got 4 minutes, and I just want to say thank you so much for all of you out there for your requests on Instagram and live over Facebook. You know what to do next week, 5 o'clock. You need to tune in for some more Shameless Exposure. Then I'm definitely gonna have a guest with me because I can't write rap every week. I'm not that good yet. But until then, stay put for some more The Business with Bacon, and I'm gonna leave you with a little bit of instrumental funk to keep you warm in a nice minute. So, thank you for listening. See you next week, people. Just feel the love.